Hi, and welcome to this month's January review and February TBR, which means to be read. Last month, which was January, I read two books, Speak by Lori Halsey Anderson and Gemena, the second book in the Illuminae files. This is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Let's start with Speak. It's a 1999 National Book Award finalist for young people's literature, and I really enjoyed it. This book is written in a really interesting and easy to read way, and it's about Melinda Sordino and her freshman year. Over the summer between her 8th grade year and her freshman year, she went to a party, got raped, and sadly broke up the party. And that's all that people know, is that she broke up the party. So she is kind of the outcast going into high school for the very first time. And she talks about how she gets through such a rough patch and how she handles the fact that she was raped. I think this is a great book for all people to read, and it has a great message to it, which is a little bit why I liked it. I loved the message that it had with it. So on my scale of 1 to 5, I put this on Goodreads as a 4-star book. The reason I gave it 4 stars was because I had a hard time getting into the plot. It seemed to kind of be a little blah, and I didn't really know what was going on, what the real issue was, where the story was going to go next. But like I said, this book has a great meaning, which is why I still gave it a 4 stars, and I definitely still think it's something that other people should be reading as well. This is something I would recommend. Next we have Gemena, and like I said, it's part of the Illuminae files. It's the second book in the series. I believe there is more to come, and I cannot wait. The reason I love these books so much, and I literally fly through them, I think it took me 2 days to read this one, is because they're written in a super interesting format. Like the title suggests, the Illuminae files are a collection of files that someone is presenting to a court in terms of an issue that's occurring that's the big plot behind this book. It's an intergalactic war between multiple planets, and there's lots of spaceships, and it's set in the future, and there's love and romance and all kinds of action scenes, and I really like this book. The most fun part is to read it quickly through all of these different little snippets. There's diagrams and surveillance footage talk. There's these chats between different people. There's also an AI involved, and so when he talks, there's interesting content in here. And I just think it's an interesting way to write that I've never seen before, and it always sucks me in and gets me super interested. I can't wait till the next one comes out. I'm hoping soon, but I know this one just came out, so it might be a while. My favorite part about this book versus the first book in this series was that it kind of tied everything together. The very first book is a little confusing. It's very futuristic, and because it's files, they don't really explain themselves. They just kind of expect people to know in a way because you're supposed to be in that time period. So there's things that kind of confused me in the first book that I think they did a better job in the second book of kind of tying together and wrapping everything up. It's either that or I got used to the writing style and what exactly was going on. Either way, I rated this book 5 stars on Goodreads. Definitely one of my favorite books ever, and I would recommend it to everyone to read. Next, let's get in my TBR for February, which is this month right now. We're a couple days in, so I've already started, and I'm on a roll. My goal was to only read 2 books this month, and I've already surpassed that, and it's what, the 7th? So I think that I'm going to push for 4. Let's double that and let's see what I can do. So the first book that I really wanted to read was A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. It's a trilogy, and this is the first one in the trilogy. The trilogy is called the All Souls trilogy. I've had this book for a while. If you go back on my blog, I think all the way to last year at this time was when I started reading it originally. And I got about halfway through and just kind of quit. which is why I wanted to really pick it up and see what I could do with it. It's a trilogy I want to read, and I know a lot of people like, so I knew I could get through it. I just apparently wasn't into it at the time. I did finish it already. I'll do a full review later on. The next book on my TBR list is Winter Girls by Lori Halsey Anderson. She also wrote Speak, which I just did my review on. So I was interested in reading more of her books. I know she has quite a few, and I like the fast pace of her writing and how I can quickly fly through them. They really get me in the mood for reading. I'm excited to be reading this one. I think it's going to be great. It's about a girl who, her friends, she has a friend and they both suffer eating disorder, and her friend at the very beginning of the book passes away, and this is her story, the surviving friend, about how she's living without her best friend and with her eating disorder and how her journey unfolds. I did a little bit more description in my book haul video that I did before this one, so I'll link it below and you can check it out if you want to know more about Winter Girls. The next book I'm excited to read this month is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This book is about Finch and Violet. They are two completely different people trying to survive through high school in Indiana. I'm so excited to be reading this book because it's set in Indiana, which is where I'm from, and I think it's going to be really fun to see an author write about this place. I don't know of many books that are set in Indiana that are so popular, and I know that All the Right Places is a really popular book right now among young readers, and I'm excited to be reading along with them. And finally, the last book that I'm hoping to shoot for this month is the Peruse Utopia Book of the Month. I'm going to go ahead and put a clip of it right here. I'm going to buy it either on audiobook or Kindle. I haven't decided yet, and I'm going to read it digitally or listen to it. The book is The Alchemist Tulum by Elise Kova, and I'm excited to be part of the book club. This is my first time participating with them, and I think that this book is going to be a little bit out of my comfort zone, so I think that it's going to be interesting to see what I like and what I don't like and branching out.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get her to stop.
So that's it for my January wrap-up and my February TBR. I'll look forward to keeping you guys in the loop on all my social media channels and my blog, which will all be linked down below, so make sure you check it out. I will let you know how I do on all of my future reads, so stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye!